Hello and welcome to Haircut and the Beard. My name is Vader, aka Haircut, and I'm joined in this beautiful podcast by my friend and co-host Rob the Beard Brown.
What's going on, guys?
Hey man, just got a beard cut.
Yeah, I knew I was going on the podcast. I knew that we were going to have Beard Watch 2016, so I had to, I had to step up my game a little bit just so I didn't get called out
So when
again.
you go there, you just tell them, number 3 all round.
So I went in there and the guy's like, so what number do you want? And I'm like, no, I don't think you understand what's happening here. I need you to handle this shit. It's not just put some clippers in here and hope for the fucking best. You need to manage this shit.
Scissors only, mate. Use clippers, we're done.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I
Get
went to
your
this
scissors
guy
out.
once, just totally off topic. This guy was like the grandmaster of beard cutting. He literally did all freehand with the clippers.
Yeah.
And he's just like, zoom, zoom, zoom.
Oh, like he does, so he doesn't actually have a plastic clip on the end of it. It's
Exactly.
It's just
Totally freehand. And I'm like, if I move a second, I'm losing an ear or something. And this guy was
No
fucking
shit.
all over it. Yeah.
What if
and it
you
was the
sneezed,
best,
man?
best beard cut I've ever got. Seriously, the guy was the grandmaster.
All right, Grandmaster Beard Cut. We'd like to introduce our special guest as well. In fact, I might actually just introduce her now. The girl.
No better time than right now.
Right now.
Hello.
So this is episode 23?
23.
And just tell everyone what the movie of the episode is.
Yeah, today I guess we'll be talking about World of Warcraft.
You guess we
You
will?
guess we
Yeah,
will.
because why not?
Like, we have to.
We may as well. We fucking watched it. We may as well talk about it now.
I don't want to, but we will.
Well, we got some revelations about that movie, so stick around on that one. Let's get in some news first of all.
Let's do it.
I got a couple things here. That Bryan Cranston is going to be playing Zordon in Power Rangers reboot. Did you hear about that?
I actually did. I heard a quote that he said, this version of the Power Rangers is going to be like Nolan's Batman, like real dark and gritty. I'm like, fucking go Cranston.
Sounds alright.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So
I'd watch
Zordon,
that.
now remind me, he's not the evil guy, is he? He's the one that like he's the good guy that helps mentors them, right?
You're asking the wrong guy. I missed
Jules?
the window.
I used to watch Power Rangers, but I can't remember. I was just in it for the action, not the
Yeah.
origin
What
story.
was your favourite colour?
Yellow? I think I like the yellow one.
Yeah.
It had to be a girl.
Yeah.
Was the red one cool?
I think the red
The red one
was
was
probably...
the fastest.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll go with that. Yep.
And the black one was, of course, black-skinned. And
that's
the yellow
racist.
one was
Oh,
Asian.
he was too, yeah.
The yellow one
The
was
yellow
Asian.
one was Asian.
She was, yeah.
Wow. That
really not
just
PC,
seems
is it?
wrong.
I think the red one was actually Native American. No,
I think it was originally called Power Racers, and then they had to change it.
Was there a white one?
Yeah,
Right.
the pink was... Oh, no, you mean white suit. Oh,
Well, yeah.
Shit.
Okay.
She only sees race. The only thing she cares about is the colour of their skin.
Shut up, whiteys.
Guess who the world's #1 paid actor is at the moment?
Donald Trump.
Good call.
No,
I
close.
have no idea.
I'll give you a clue. He's not white,
Donald... Is he the guy who's
Donald
also
Glover?
a rapper?
but he's also...
Yeah, that's
people
right.
are kind of
No.
confused at what race he really is.
Tiger Woods?
No, it's actually The Rock.
Oh, it's not Rob Schneider?
Hey-oh.
Because I have no idea what race he is.
Yeah, what?
I'm guessing he's white as fuck.
No, he's mixed.
We discussed this on our our podcast called Get Real Rob on the Netflix original series Get
Cross-promotion.
Real Rob with Tyler from Future Horse Pod. In fact, you can check that show out if you really want to rehash it, Rob.
No, don't do it.
It's on iTunes. It's called Get Real Rob. It's about real Rob.
Yeah.
About Rob
me.
Schneider. I've said Rob so many times, I feel like I'm talking about you.
Yeah, we are. We are talking about me, yeah.
Yep. But
That
we
whole
discussed it
podcast, we were talking about me. That was a proviso in which I was on that show.
But Rob Schneider, we already discussed. He was like half or quarter Filipino and then Hawaiian for the
Oh,
rest.
that's right.
Yeah.
I do remember that conversation.
Anyway, moving on to...
No,
Rock.
it's The Rock. He's Samoan, right?
So The Rock, yeah, I thought he was Samoan.
Yeah, so we were talking about the highest paid actor.
Yeah.
So it is The Rock, and he is Samoan. I was just fucking around. But a lot of people don't know that he's Samoan. They're like, is he black? Why does it matter, people that think that? Stop it.
We're the ones who've
This
been
has
discussing
been,
it for the last 20 minutes.
way too racially focused.
If he was a
Which
Power
Power Ranger would he be?
if he was a Power Ranger, I think he'd be in a Hawaiian pattern.
He'd just have a lei around his neck. No, that's
He'd
That's
be
racist.
like a brownish colour kind of went, I don't know. That's
I don't know. I feel like just 3 white people in a room talking is going to be racist no matter what.
Just from the fact that we're congregating all together makes it racist.
How dare you not have some sort of token racist group? Oh god, that's already racist.
Token black person.
We need to cut this all out.
No, leave it in.
But just the fact that they're token makes it racist as well.
True.
It shows the guilt.
Yeah.
Why can't we just embrace it?
Well, you're called the girl because you're a token girl, right? Otherwise, it'd just be 3 white men.
I gotta go.
But he is The Rock. Okay, just trying to like fucking right this ship that's about to hit a giant iceberg.
Yeah,
he is in everything I've seen in the last 6 months.
Yeah,
like,
he's in a lot.
Everything.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I saw him at my work. Like, he's just everywhere.
Just doing stuff. Like, oh god.
But speaking of like, this is a perfect segue into my next talking point because people put black people, Asian people, women into roles just for the sake of
Women
that.
are practically a race.
Right?
yeah.
What I'm saying is that people just like include these minorities to tick a box. Which brings me to the failure that was Ghostbusters. I didn't want to talk about it because we talked about it before.
I can't.
The reason I wanted to bring it up is because it was actually denied a release in China.
Really?
Yeah, so it can't be released there.
Why?
The one girl policy.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
It's actually really clever.
I know you're thinking the reason why. I didn't write it down, but I did read briefly in the first couple paragraphs of the news thing that I
enlighten
saw.
us.
The reason is because they've got rules around displaying of the occult, ghosts. And in particular, I think there's something cannibalistic in Ghostbusters that they had to cut it. Because I was thinking when I was reading this article, I was like, hang on a second, the movie we're talking about this episode is Warcraft. And one of the facts about that is it's been really, really successful in China, among other countries.
Ironically, sorry to jump in, but Warcraft, the game, had to be re-edited for, I think it was China as well, because they're not allowed to display skeletons, have some kind of like huge significance. So they had to, the skeletons in Warcraft, the game, had to be edited to be something else. I can't remember what it was.
That's probably it. In fact, I'm thinking the Warcraft edition that was shown in China is probably slightly different, but that's a different discussion. Yeah, so Ghostbusters, I mean, it's shit house, but we knew that, but it was denied release in China, so cop that.
Unbelievable.
We haven't seen it though, have we? So
no,
it
we
could be,
haven't.
it could be a secret gem, but I will never watch it.
Everything I've heard, like, ironically, I've heard, everything that I've heard has been bad, but every time they've mentioned it's been bad, they've also mentioned, but it has been getting a lot of good reviews. Like,
well, here's the thing. When a new movie is released, IMDb is always very inflated because it's a new movie. There's trailers, there's buzz about it, right?
Yeah.
As well as the fact that, the producers are probably going in there rating it 10 just to lift it up a little.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, right. I would. But the thing is this is a newly released movie, just released, and it's already 4.8. Like, it's already beneath the 5 threshold.
Yeah.
So it's, I imagine over the coming months, years, it's going to drop even further. Probably land on a solid 3.8.
Which is really, like, because usually films of that caliber, and when I say that caliber, I mean the cast.
Step, right?
Yeah, I mean the cast, the budget, the fact that it was a big release with a lot of advertising.
Yeah.
It's very rare to see those drop below like a 5.5 or something like that. Very, very rare.
So it must be really shit.
Yeah, it must be
Looking at the current
terrible.
rating, yeah.
I shouldn't get my news from 4chan, but I saw this one image on 4chan of like how the original Ghostbusters had this black dude in it.
Yeah.
And like they just didn't reference his race at all. They didn't like hang on to the stereotypical jokes and things like that.
Yeah.
And this one, the black woman's just like, what you talking about, Willard?
And apparently she's the only one out of the whole
Who is it?
cast.
Is it Wanda Sykes or what?
Pretty much. Have you seen the fucking...
Essentially.
She's terrible. Her job, apparently, she was like, worked as a bus driver. It was some like really menial job. The rest of the cast were all scientists. So the only black woman in the cast is...
Like a toilet cleaner.
a toilet cleaner, basically. Like, she does some really crappy job.
That's not offensive, is
Just
it?
terrible. Which I just wanted to... I didn't know where I was going to bring this up, but it's a perfect time. I saw Independence Day recently, and with this whole thing of equality and fucking women doing stuff and, like all of that stuff at the moment, I just think it's crazy. This film, and this is a spoiler for Independence Day, not a big one because that movie's story is irrelevant.
There's a story? That surprises me.
Apparently, There is a woman president in that film. I'm like,
Okay.
yep, okay, good for you.
Power to you.
You're trying to do the right thing. You try to go in the right direction. She dies halfway through the film,
Yeah.
and a
Of
man
what?
has to come
like
in.
she dies of her period or something?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. A man has to step in and win the war.
Yeah.
Because the woman
Because
just
the
couldn't
woman,
handle
she
it.
couldn't even live through it.
Yeah, she couldn't even live through it. A man has to come and save the day. And I'm sure that it was never... That conversation was never had in the writer's room. Guys, we can't really kill a woman president and then have a
Yeah.
man step in and...
They wouldn't have even thought about it.
But-
Yeah, there's a reason it's called menopause. Because they need a man.
Yeah, it's just insane.
I don't even know what to say.
Just gloss over it. We'll just keep talking. But yeah, I just thought that was funny and just worth a mention that, yeah, she fucking copped it and a man had to step in and...
So it would have been
fix the
empowering
world.
if it had been the reverse.
The other way around,
Yeah.
yeah. And I can't think of a reason why they couldn't have done that.
Why can't they have a man and woman working together? Come on, you guys.
Co-presidency.
Yeah.
Trump and Hillary, team up, run the world, done. Because that's what a president does, runs the world, apparently.
Trumpton.
Trumpton. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Better than Clintump.
Better than
I don't
Clump.
think it is. I think Clump or Clintump is about as good as we could possibly get.
Oh, no. Clump,
God.
save us all.
That's all I got for news.
I got a few little things that I'll chuck out there. So you know how computers are going to steal everyone's job eventually?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen, except for
Podcasters.
podcasters, the arts, basically. The arts. Wrong.
We are artists.
Wrong.
What?
We're all going to lose our job. A computer has written a screenplay.
Ah, very good.
Yeah, not good at all. It was terrible. It was
you
absolutely
read it?
atrocious. It's just gibberish. It makes
Yep.
no sense at all.
Well, we're all right then for now.
For now. But I think it's interesting because it's actually been enacted. They've actually directed this. They've got people to star in it, and it's just gibberish. It makes no sense at all. So just watching it is
What?
kind of this strange meta experience of just these
Yeah.
actors trying to give life to gibberish. Like it, just so bizarre. But it's worth a look. I can't remember what it's called, but if you Google it,
intriguing.
you'll find it.
But it's like it's not artificial intelligence. It's the screenplay that's written by the AI is not really AI.
It's an
like
algorithm, yeah.
Yeah, it's to do with whatever the engineer's input.
Yeah.
And
It's still quite interesting, and I think I heard an interview with the guys that did it, and they said like this is not a success, but it's the beginning of something. Where a world where you will be able to just say, "Here's every Transformers bit of information that exists
now
in the
produce
universe."
the next one.
Now go and make the next one with the.
I feel like that's
the
essentially
themes.
how movies are being produced
Yeah.
at the moment. Like it's just
Yeah.
algorithmic.
Exactly, and it's just terrifying. Just
that a
make sure you
word?
raise the stakes. Oh, okay, so we'll put the whole world in jeopardy again. Yep.
yeah,
Cool.
that's it. That's it.
Maybe put two worlds in jeopardy this time. Okay, no
Right.
worries.
The universe.
Whoa. Holy dude.
I think
You
I
should
took it
be
too far.
You should be a writer in Hollywood, man.
Yeah.
You go places.
It's kind of terrifying. Long story short, they took our jobs.
Yeah.
Build a wall. They took our jobs. Terminator, Skynet, just robots are bad is what I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I
don't-
get
It's okay, Rob. We can tell that you're scared. Okay? It's going to be okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but what's going to be the bigger threat? Zombies or computers?
Zombies
or-
versus computers.
Zombuters.
Zombuters.
AI versus zombies.
If
That's
anyone's
an
ever
idea.
seen Star Trek,
Let's
that's
say
the
this,
Borg.
like-
basically, there's a whole race that's basically exactly what you just
Oh,
said.
cool.
Dude, how about, right?
The Borg.
They're called the Borg, yeah.
That sounds like a type of meat. I'll just have a Borg sandwich.
How about a zombie movie that's set like in 2050, 2060, where like the machines already are heaps smarter and there's a zombie virus released, but there's no human survivors. They're all zombies. And then it's just like up to the machines to fight the zombies.
Is this a haircut pitch or?
It's a
I
haircut.
forgot about those.
Haircut and the pitch.
I'd watch that film.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would be great.
Thanks, man.
Give it to a computer and just let him fucking tap away at that one.
Yeah, we don't have to do
I'm a
it.
bit of an avid writer.
Oh my god. Writer?
So next bit of news. So the trailer for the new Tupac film's come out. Have you guys seen that trailer?
No.
No?
Oh, I saw the trailer. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the actual movie because it's not out yet.
Yeah. Apparently, they've just revived Tupac and he is just going to play himself
Dude.
in the film.
The
Pretty
guy
much.
looks identical to Tupac.
It just has to be him. I
Yeah.
think this is his comeback of wasn't really dead, guys.
Yep.
That's
This is
it.
the
I'm
moment.
out.
It's his Jesus moment.
Yeah, that's it.
Although I gotta say, he didn't age a day during his 30 years out of the spotlight.
Maybe he's the
hypersleep.
first person to be successfully frozen and reanimated.
There you go.
Yeah,
Walt
don't you-
Disney will be next. Apparently, his head's on ice.
It's fucking on ice, eh?
Fucking heaps of ice. God damn.
Oh, shit.
Wow. So yeah, that's next one. I think I talked about this film as one of my favorite films, or favorite sort of films that not many people had heard about.
Yeah.
Sicario is getting a spin-off. The first one starred Emily Blunt and was about sort of the Mexican cartel. Really, really cool film. I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
Apparently, it's going to get a couple of sort of sequels / spin-offs. They're kicking Emily Blunt out of her own sequel. So there's going to be a sort of sequel / spin-off. She's not even going to be in the film.
Go on.
Don't you reckon that's nuts?
Yeah, it's a bit rude.
So long story short, I've decided that I'm going to do a spin-off and neither of you guys are invited.
Yeah,
I'm just going to go do my own thing. Like,
Is it going to be called Haircut is the Best?
it's going to be called Beard.
Just
Beard, you know. It's just going to be 30 minutes of me talking about beards. pretty
Beard
much.
Does. Just Beard Does, the movie title for the week.
Oh, yeah.
Beard Does, straight out of Compton.
Yeah.
Did you want to co-host on that, or?
Yeah, you guys are both invited. Very last bit of news I've got. So there was a big thing about Donald Glover, who I think we mentioned earlier in this podcast, being the next Spider-Man. There was a big sort of campaign to get him on board to be the next Spider-Man. The rumors are, and they're pretty much confirmed, that he will be in the next Spider-Man film.
But he won't be Spider-Man.
But not Spider-Man. So
Right.
the prominent theory is that he will be in the next Spider-Man film with the option in the future, depending on how he goes, to replace Spider-Man at some point or become the Black Spider-Man, which is Miles
Wasn't that a
Morales.
hashtag for a while?
Black Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Was it?
Wasn't it? I don't know, guys.
Don't look at me for hashtags.
Well, apparently there's this really interesting story, and I find it interesting, whether you guys do or not. There was a big thing to get him to play Spider-Man, which prompted a writer of the Spider-Man comics to create this character that was based loosely on Donald Glover. So
Yeah, but the studio execs, they're like,
We need him to be a little bit more urban.
and then they make him hip and just
Childish Spidey,
I've got this thing.
racist.
I've got this thing. When I watch certain shows with my girlfriend, there's a certain actor from a show, and he's like this black guy, and he's meant to be from the hood. He's meant to be real hard as nails.
Yeah.
He's from Angel, the show, Buffy and Angel, from Angel.
Yeah.
And he's meant to be hard
The
as
hardest
nails.
show out.
Yeah, hardest show
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
But he's like from this street gang, so he's a tough kid. His name's Gun. The gun, the thing,
wow.
we
Yeah.
shoot stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Thanks,
I
Rob.
always picture him like he does this thing, like he'll push someone up against a wall and go, "Yo, get out of my face, bitch," or something like
Yeah,
that, like
yeah.
real gangster. And I always picture this after the thing's done. He turns to producer, he's like, "Do you think that was black enough, guys? Do you think was that black enough?" Because he just seems like the whitest guy ever, but he's trying so hard to be hood,
Where is my cup of milk, please?
Yeah, he's like, "Do you think that was black enough? I could probably go a bit blacker if I really needed to, but
Yeah,
just
totally.
And I kind of got that vibe from the whole Spider-Man thing. Like, they just needed to blacken him up a little bit,
Blacken him up.
I can't handle how race-driven this whole episode has been. It's really
I know.
full
All
on.
right. I hereby decree no further discussion of race, unless it's orcs and white men.
Yeah, which I think let's just get away from news, because it's just a hotbed of fucking racially insensitive conversations.
Political
going on.
climate. What do you expect? Clumpton.
Clumpton. Yeah, that was
What?
good.
Clumpton is.
Climpton?
Straight out of Clumpton.
Shit.
Straight out of Clumpton. Okay, I think we're getting... Yeah.
All right, so the movie we're talking about this episode is Warcraft, also known as Warcraft The Beginning, because it really is just an epilogue.
Yeah.
Also known as a steaming turd. Too strong?
So it's a movie.
no.
So it's about an orc horde that invades planet Azeroth using a magical portal. Few human heroes and dissenting orcs must attempt to stop the true evil behind the war, which is Gul'dan. Is that what you call him?
Yep.
The big green energy guy.
you
yeah,
just try and hock something up out of your throat, and you
Yeah.
can kind of say it.
Gul'dan.
Hold on.
So it's got. It's got a couple of mid-level name actors.
Yeah,
No,
I recognised
huge
most
ones.
of them.
Yeah.
I only
Ben
recognise
Foster
one.
Ben Foster was probably my most known one, the guy that
Yeah.
played Medivh.
The main guy,
Guardian.
was from Vikings, and he played pretty much the exact same dude. And I think his name was even very similar. I can't remember what it is.
Travis Fimmel is Anduin.
Anduin. What's his last name?
Lothar. Yeah.
In Vikings, it's Lothbrok, I think, or something. Loth something. He's basically the same character, exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's like one of his terms. Like, I'll do it, but it has to start with Loth.
yeah. Pretty much.
Loth the plot. So it's also got a bunch of other actors in it. I'm not going to go through them all because they all kind of there wasn't one or two people that really played the biggest. It was like there was like 5 main parts.
Yeah, that's one of the issues I have with this movie. Actually,
Yeah.
Let's just chat story first. I mean, overall story, to me, it just seems like it's a big epilogue. It's a big trailer for a bigger
and
series.
when we get into spoilers, we'll really sort of delve into exactly that. Yeah. But, I mean, story-wise, I think it falls into the same traps that a lot of things based on other properties like books or TV, whatever, being made into films, is they assume a lot of knowledge. I've played fucking World of Warcraft for a very long time, and I know the lore to some extent.
Yeah.
And I still struggle to follow a lot of this film.
Yes, you can imagine how I felt.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I really can't.
I've played a little Hearthstone and, recognized the Murloc squeal through the
the Murloc, that was great.
But, I mean, the rest of it, you're right. It just seems like it's a big glossary of terms that are going to appear in further movies.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to point out is that Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, the first movies of these series, Hunger Games as well, they're all a movie in themselves. They're not just a big lead up, and that's what this is. It felt like it didn't end. It just in the middle of it, the title Warcraft came up at the end.
Yeah,
but I was like, oh, okay, this is the end.
It very much assumes a sequel. 100% assumes there is going to be more films following up. And I mean, let's face it, there probably is going to be. I think I heard an interview with the director who, basically confirmed, yep, there is going to be sequels based on how well it did overseas.
Yeah,
but just
maybe they can just release them overseas. Fingers crossed, right?
So I'm taking that you guys really reviled this film.
It's I feel like it was a bluff from the producers and directors. They called it Warcraft the Beginning because they're like, dude, we just got to push for some sequels. This is a cash cow. We got to go for it. But they didn't have anything locked in at all.
Yeah,
it's
it just felt very rushed and very as you said, there was this assumption that everyone who's watching, knows the background, knows the characters, understands the way the world works. But there was just so many different types of magic, so many different types of people, so many characters with deep voices that are hard to understand.
Yeah.
And different names and places.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's the Warcraft lore is rich and phenomenal. There's so many amazing stories.
Yeah, I have a feeling it didn't do it justice at all.
Yeah, I mean, from my understanding and what I always liked about the story, this didn't really hit on any of those things. I mean, there was a few. Don't get me wrong. I think I definitely liked this film more than you guys did, and I really didn't like it.
Yeah, there was,
but I found a few little glimmering bits of hope that I could sort of cling to. But overall, I'd say close to reviled 99% of this film.
Why not tell a story from the orcs' perspective, make it a good story, make the stakes a little lower to start with, and get people used to this world, and then go, okay, we're going to have a war between orcs and humans and all that. Why not do that first? Introduce things. But no, you start off with a big fucking battle. Where are you going to go from here?
Well, the problem is that there was no one to be that point of identification. There was no one to help establish stakes and then become, I don't want to say loyal to, but that character.
Someone to
feel
for.
Yeah. There were no sympathetic characters.
Yeah.
So I feel that was meant to be, sorry.
No, it's all right. It was just jumping from person to person, place to place, so erratically that I just didn't care. I could see there were stakes for the characters, but I didn't connect with it.
Yeah, you didn't really care whether those stakes were, if they didn't live up to it, if they didn't, if they failed, if they succeeded.
And when I watch a fight scene, I want to see the characters that I like do well, and if they, get hurt, you want to care? I just did not care. It's I don't care that I don't want... I was about to do a spoiler.
Maybe we'll come back to the story stuff when we do spoilers, because there's a lot of the really big things that I want to talk about, I guess, are under the banner of spoilers. But just quickly, I'd like to talk about the performances.
Yeah.
and how fucking terrible all the human actors were in this. Every single one of the people that I recognise, I've seen them give a good performance in something else.
Yeah.
I truly believe that this film had a case of a Star Wars prequelitis in the sense that they were all standing in front of a fucking green screen and were not given enough good direction to really give a good performance. Because I know all of these people, at least the ones that I recognise.
Yeah, you know they can act. So the problem is the material, the script, the dialogue was really poorly.
Yeah.
Girl, we watched it together, girl and I.
Yeah.
She pointed out in the middle of it, like, the dialogue literally just tells you what is going on.
Yeah,
I am the Guardian. I have to protect this. Just show it instead.
An important part of like good dialogue is, and like good filmmaking is showing, not telling. And so much of the dialogue in this was expository. And people would have, because there's so many characters they're trying to introduce you to everyone. Everyone got their own little moment, like their own, say, minute to tell their story and explain.
Yeah.
You know, where they've come from and why they're here. Yeah. But you just don't care.
100%. I could not agree more. And I wanted to like this so much. I want to revisit because I've spent literally thousands of hours in this world. And I wanted to love it so much. And I wanted to visit that world again without having to basically commit my life to fucking playing this video game again. Yeah. And, you know, to be able to visit this world without playing the game was something that I was really excited about. And I just wanted to like it so much. I really, really did.
Yeah.
And it hurt me that it didn't.
I actually think maybe the failing is that they tried to make it accessible for people who don't know Warcraft, even though they failed in that respect. But they also tried to make it appealing for people who do know the world.
Oh, so they're trying to tread so much fan service.
They're trying to tread the line. Yeah. And in that way, they failed both audiences.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I agree.
Because there was so many things where I'm like, okay, I see what you did there. You know, like I recognize the area you're going there, and I you know, I'm glad that you put a boomstick in there and they were shooting dudes. But if you didn't do that, I would have enjoyed it probably a bit more because that didn't need to be there. You know, like
so it's like a token reference to something.
Yeah, little token references. My favourite bit was the Murloc, where they go over the bridge and there's like a little Murloc in the front. It's like, Murr.
And that was weird because that was my favourite bit. Only because I recognised it from you guys playing Hearthstone around the house. And I was like, hey, I know that sound. It was like the one tinge of familiarity for me.
Yeah.
The king, just back to performances, was especially bad. He
was like the spindliest little puppy dog of a king. Like, did you feel that he had no sense of valor and he didn't feel like a king? He had no presence?
One bit, like Medivh comes and visits him and like pops out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he's just like, the king's literally just sitting on his throne. And I'm thinking, do kings just do that all day? Do they just sit on their
funny
throne?
To think that he is literally just sitting on his throne with all his men in front of him.
And he's just sitting there going, so what are you guys having for lunch? And then like out into nowhere pops Medivh, goes, I am here. Oh yeah, we'll talk about sandwiches later. What do you need, Medivh?
One of my favourite Seinfeld jokes ever was, remember Putty from Seinfeld? It was like Elaine's boyfriend. He's like just a big dumb guy.
Yeah.
One of my favourite things was, and this is just a little thing, but it was one of the genius things that Seinfeld just got, was they just showed Elaine picks up the phone to call him, and it shows him just sitting there by the phone, and the phone rings, and he's like, talking to Putty. Just the thought that he was just sitting there by the phone, just waiting, because that's the kind of guy he is, you know. Like, it just, the king's
that's
just
like
sitting
what
there
the
waiting.
king counts on is people just materializing in front of him.
That's it.
And he had all his guards ready to form a circle as well.
The one thing, as I said, there was a few things that I really did like, and I liked the way that they visually showed magic in this world.
That's one of the things I like. That was like one redeeming feature.
I'm glad that you guys, or at least...
Are you talking about the like really bright colours and
the
stuff?
blue
I
magic?
actually didn't like that much.
Oh,
like
really?
Really?
Dude, the green was way too bright. It's like the whole... It's if you took the movie and you just like made a painting of all the colours, it would just be like big bright green and big bright blue everywhere. It's just too much.
What I really liked was I could, to some extent, and this did get a bit muddied later on, but as someone that's played the game, I could tell the specific class that each person was. I could tell...
Yeah. That's what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could tell some of the specific spells. I'm like, I remember that, and that looks vaguely similar. There was one cool thing where, right near the start, where one of the guys is trying to cast a spell, and he puts his hand over his mouth because he needs to be able to talk to cast. You know, just little things like that. I'm like, okay, I kind of dug that, and you know, like the spells I thought all had. They all looked unique. You could tell who was casting them from the color, obviously, and I just really enjoyed that visual aspect of it. I thought visually this film was most of the time stunning, but it was video game stunning.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It didn't look real,
no,
but it looked cool. And
Dude,
I enjoyed that.
Fucking cool.
The orcs. This is one thing
that
I've got
muscle
down
definition,
here.
they have been
Their
bulking.
shoulders were
as
fucking
fuck.
on point.
I've got pretty much word for word exactly what you just said. Their shoulder game, and I'm talking more about like in World of Warcraft, one of your armor sets is your shoulders. And for orcs, the bigger the better. If you've got like and the guy with the giant 2 raptor skeletons on each shoulder, that was fucking cool. He's obviously done a lot of raiding, a lot of grinding. He's been out there killing fucking God knows what for hundreds of thousands of hours and got a really good drop, like, because he's got his shit down. Quick side story, used to play World of Warcraft. There was a huge thing, one of the biggest, like, they called it Shoulder Gate or something like that. There was a thing where they did a patch for the game and everyone's shoulders shrunk down to normal size. So if you're a giant orc, you've got shoulders that are scaled down to a human. It was end of fucking days. It didn't have any effect on how powerful you were or the stats or anything like that.
But your whole experience was ruined.
Because your shoulders look shit. It's like, dude, I'm this big dude, and look at the size of my shoulders. I can't do this. And people lost their fucking shit. Just lost it. But
no, but I do agree with you there. The costuming, whether or not those orcs were real people, I don't know. I don't think so. They're all
entirely
animated.
CG.
Yeah. So, but I mean, they look
except for the
cool.
one chick.
It was the best acting in the whole thing.
Oh, the pregnant one.
No, the one.
Oh, the green Shrek girl.
Yeah, the Shrek girl. Yeah, who looked terrible.
Yeah, she did not look well.
Yeah.
But she was like quite hot for a otherworldly beast.
I'm surprised that she didn't fade into the green screen with that skin.
She's probably actually like orange or something. Yeah. They had to color correct her later.
But I thought I legitimately enjoyed, and the orcs were the race that I care about the least in World of Warcraft, because there's about 30 other races that were not shown or even introduced in this game. But the orcs are the ones that I cared about the least going into these. When I was watching it, I enjoyed the orcs and their story more than anything else.
That's probably the most sympathetic group. I think, because they were the most, this is a wrong choice of word, but the most human.
Yes.
More human than humans.
And you understood their motivation. There was actually I got the point of, we're following this chieftain. It's part of our culture to we need to, follow and respect him as if it's law. And the struggle of, well, maybe he's not doing what's right for us as a people. So maybe we need to look at going against this and how hard that would be for someone to do that. You know? And they explored that, I thought, at least on a very basic level, they did it some justice.
Yeah, and probably one of the few believable sweet moments was between the chieftain and his wife.
Yes.
When she was pregnant. Like, they actually had like a cute little flirtatious moment at the beginning. I didn't see that between anyone else.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah.
Which is probably why they were the most, like, likable.
Yeah.
Even if,
Yeah, true.
I agree. I would watch an orc film entirely in CG.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it.
I think you made a good point, though. Like, visually it looked really great, but for a video game.
That was one of the things I struggled with, is it didn't look real, and because I'm not a gamer, like, I could appreciate, I did like the magic, I liked the blue magic, I liked when they would, like, throw someone up against the wall, I liked it when the guy who became the Guardian, he'd done all that research, and angry...
Other Guardian.
What is his name? Medivh? Is that his name?
Medivh,
when he came in and just set everything on fire.
Yeah,
like, that was really cool. Yeah,
that was kind of cool.
But
yeah, I enjoyed that.
It felt a lot like, it looked a lot like Harry Potter sometimes.
Oh, a lot.
It's just confusing.
And I just felt like the sets of all of the human worlds, and it was great that I recognised some of them. Like, I'm like, I've been there in the game. Great, yay. Besides that, they always looked a bit sort of. They looked like a set.
Yeah,
they looked
really shit.
Yeah,
actually, yeah, the whole orc world.
Yeah,
that it was just too.
Duncan Jones, what are you doing, mate? Bloody hell!
Yeah. You know when they have all the same thing replicated to make a crowd?
Yeah,
it just felt like that whole thing. I just couldn't.
I'm not sure if I'm sure you guys haven't, but if you ever get a chance, just watch some of the opening cinematics for World of Warcraft. They are some of the best video game animations you'll ever see. Blizzard just has this studio that just does amazing work. I'm not sure if they even work for Blizzard, but anyway, they just do amazing work, and you could sort of see a lot of that in the cool visuals in this, but it just was weird. I just liked the orcs. I just didn't like much else. Do we want to talk about spoilers? Just quickly jump into spoilers before we...
Yeah, let's do it. So if you're listening to this and you haven't seen the movie, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, turn it off for a few minutes.
Just get out of here, man.
I need to say, one of the big moments was when... what's his name? I should know his name. The main guy,
Anduin.
With the long hair.
Yeah, when his son died, I didn't realise at that point that he had a son.
Oh, they completely set it up earlier.
Did they?
Yeah.
I must have just missed that scene entirely.
His son was injured. He was laying in a bed. They came and set it up like, yeah, this kid's going to die and you're supposed to care about it. He came.
The only reference to him was like, he goes in a hospital bed and the kid's been injured in war, and the dad, Anduin's like...
He literally goes in.
You're the only thing I have left.
Yeah.
Okay, I must have entirely just missed that scene.
So
as soon as he said that, as soon as he said it, it was like, yeah, he's going to die later.
The writer's just throwing in your face going, here's some steaks, you cunt.
Yeah. Steaks! Just, throwing it at your face.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, you know, the son dies.
That whole scene was so painfully drawn out.
Yeah.
Oh, God. We watched it at 1.2 speed on your referral.
Yeah.
And that scene was
Did
still
you
way
notice
too
it?
long.
Yeah.
Just out of interest, did you notice much of a difference?
No, some of the
not
dialogue
really.
was a lot snappier.
Yeah. It was probably a better film that way.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine watching it any slower.
Yeah.
My God.
Imagine watching a 0.8 speed. It would just be torture.
No.
I mean, talking about ending in a way that's begging for a sequel, the few stakes that they had sort of built us up to, in the sense that, you know, this orc woman has sort of joined the humans for the sake of trying to save her people. She kills the king for her people, you know, for the good, for the right reason.
After being asked to do so by the king.
Yeah, which, you know, is a good thing. And then Anduin thinks that she's made it her choice and gone to the other side. It's like
that could easily be solved by him just being like, "Boy, why'd you kill the king?" She's like, "Oh, he told me to."
Yeah.
Oh, cool. We can still we can still go out.
Yeah, and it just
You know?
that needed to be resolved in this film, because I felt no resolution at all.
Yeah, because of that.
At least in Lord of the Rings, you've got the first film ends with, okay, we are very early on in this story. We know where we're going. We know what we need to do, but we're not close to there. I still felt like, okay, that was a film that had a beginning, middle, and end, and I feel some level of like, okay, yeah, we're done.
Yeah, you're like, I can wait another year.
Yeah. At least, you know, it had a definitive ending, even though it's got all this other stuff to come. This just
felt like a chapter in a video game.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, without a doubt. It just felt like episode 1. Give us some finality to this film. Don't just have it all going on to the next film.
And it really makes you feel like you're treated like a fucking idiot by the creators.
Yeah, have some respect for your viewers.
Jesus
you know?
Christ.
Yeah. Stop
Duncan, if you're
spelling
listening to
things
this,
out.
man, come on, dude.
Isn't he David Bowie's son?
Oh, shit, I'm sorry, man.
I don't know. You can still be mad at him just because he's grieving. I think it's David Bowie's. If I'm wrong, I'm an idiot. But
if you're listening to this, Bowie, sorry.
Not Bowie won't be listening. He could
Bowie.
be. We don't know how
Bowie's
podcasts
son,
work.
I assume. True,
Bowie hears everything.
Yeah,
That's still a mystery to me. I don't know how it gets uploaded. Do you do that, dude?
No, I just assumed that magic little fairies do it or something. Yeah, overall, to me, this felt like a B movie that someone's like, oh, you might have something here. Here's $100 million to spend on CG. Because I felt the CG was quite good in a lot of cases.
The CG was the main character.
Yeah. The CG was really good, but
They really cared for the main character, the CG.
Yeah, same.
There was some stakes for the CG.
I think the CG really grew throughout the movie.
As a person, or a CG, or a fucking
made
AI.
some new friends, made some new enemies. The
That's
CG
it.
really excelled.
The CG learnt something in this movie.
Oh, God. But yeah, they're like, here's $100 million for the CG, and the guy's like, can I just have another $1 million, just maybe do some reshoots? And they're like, nah.
Yeah, you'll be right, mate.
You'll be right. They're actors. They've
He's
done
like,
their best.
I blew it all on effects. Can I get some writers? Like, no, you're just going to have to improv that. Sorry.
Just make that green and blue colour just a little brighter, and then everyone will forget anyway.
The brightness knob, just all the way up. Yeah. Put that shit to 11. You'll be fine. Yeah. Oh, while we're talking about that, the one scene that I'm like, okay, that was kind of badass. Because in the game, the way that you get around from one location to another...
So when he ran and jumped onto his thing and flew off?
That bit, but the bit directly after that where he just fucking dive-bombed into the middle of like 30 orcs and he's just picking up the king to fuck off. Oh, yeah. And he's Griffin. He's just in the background like, tearing shit to shreds. It's just like picking him up in a beak, just fucking throwing him over here, going nuts. I really liked that.
Yeah, breed griffins and use them.
Yeah. In the game, you get like you can get your own griffins, ride around and do all that kind of stuff. They don't attack. If they did that, I'd just fucking sit at home and let them do all the work for you.
No shit. So how many griffins out of 10?
I'd give this about a 5 out of generous. 10. Especially because I had some kind of, it's a world that I've been in before, and I just don't think it paid the due respect. There was a lot that I did like about it visually, but it was just so outweighed by everything else. It just killed me.
Yeah, no good. I'd be on par with that. I think I'd just give it a 5.5. I mean, it was pretty awful, but the action was somewhat entertaining, and all, obviously it had a lot of holes in it. And it was just a big fucking epilogue for a future. Movie.
I will watch the future ones just in the hopes that he, sort of takes a lot of the bad press on board. And, I'd love to see some Taurens. Taurens is another race that is just giant cows, basically.
Sweet.
Fucking awesome. Giant cows.
Origin story on them.
Yeah, they're really cool. I'd love to see them fighting an orc. That'd be cool.
Talk about milking the prophets.
Yeah, milking. Oh,
you're so cheesy.
You guys are always so good at the puns.
All right. I would give this. Look, it was like bordering on so bad it's good. So and there were some good effects. And like at some, I think maybe 2/3 of the way through, I did vaguely start to care what happened, but not a lot. And I did fall asleep halfway through. We had to watch it in 2 sittings. So
at 1.2 speed as well.
I'll give it 2 little green babies out of 10.
That's pretty generous.
It's really low.
Yeah. I can't argue with that.
I'm not going to give it griffins because griffins are cool.
Yeah, griffins are
little green
cool.
babies.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awful movie, eh? Fucking hell. Can we just talk real for a sec? How shit was it, eh?
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Oh, mate. So, should we wrap it up?
There's 2 little things that I just have to bring up real quick. Just TV Watch 2016. There's a few... It's like that mid-year time where a lot of shows finish and a lot of shows come back or, reintroduced. It's like the season where everything sort of starts back up. 3 shows that I just want to quickly shout out, and I know I've done this enough in the past, but Mr. Robot is back, season 2.
Sweet.
I've seen 1 episode, and it's just something really special about that show that
really good, huh?
Just so good. It is without a doubt my favorite. The first season is without a doubt my favorite opening season to any show I've ever seen. That is just not disputable in my mind. There's nothing even comes close. And another show that's out at the moment that only 1 episode's out so far, and it just looks so far it's really, really good. And it's called The Night Of. I think this is going to be something really, really special. I think it's going to have like 8 episodes on HBO, and it's a sort of murder mystery. Just seems really, really cool. They put it in the same the same time slot as Game of Thrones was, and I just feel that they have a big plan for this, like it's that coveted time slot. No, I just think it's going to be something really special.
Cool. Also, TV Watch. One of my mates is in a TV show called Prison Break, and that's going to be coming back in a few months.
It is too. I think that's real interesting. The last one that I've got is Stranger Things, which is a Netflix show by the Duffer Brothers.
Is it the Duffer Brothers?
Actually, the Duffer Brothers.
Matt and Ross.
Yeah. But I smashed through that in a day, and it's just a good show.
What's
I really enjoyed it. It's a really cool... It's like a sort of mixture of the Goonies, E.T., like that sort of old 80s sci-fi.
Style, yeah.
And it just is real... It really sticks to it. Like the film posters in the background are from the Evil Dead. The music is of the era. And it's about a boy that goes missing, and his friends, while they're out looking for him, find another girl of around the same age who seems to have some kind of crazy powers.
I was just mentioning this show to you.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Definitely worth a watch. It's just a good show. Really enjoyable. Very, I think you used the word before, bingeable.
Bingeable.
Never heard that one, but it is. It just, perfectly bingeable show.
It's all about the bingeable.
Delicious.
Yep. That's it. That's all I got.
This has been Haircut and the Beard. I'd like to thank our special guest, the girl, for joining us.
I'm going to need more than thanks because I had to watch Warcraft.
Yeah, I feel like we owe her some money.
Thank you very much.
Actually, Duncan Jones owes you some money. Let's be real about this shit.
Duncan Jones, if you're listening to this, send a check to @haircutandthebeard on Twitter. Wait, it's @haircutbeard just. Yeah. Fuck, I don't even know my own Twitter. Fucking blah, blah, blah.
@haircutbeard, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Thanks so much, Beard, for coming on the show again. I believe this is, your 23rd episode?
Yep, 23rd and counting.
With a freshly groomed beard.
Yep.
Hey.
Just for the show.
My
just
name's
for the
Vader,
listeners.
a.k.a. Haircut.
AKA.
And it's been Haircut and the
Australian.
Beard. Give us a thumbs up, mate.
Yep.
See you later, bro.
Go watch Mr. Robot.
Outro is probably one of our worst. But you know what? We're going with it. That's
Just
it.
over it.
We leave it.